Okay, and we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conjure Crew. 2/3 of the crew are here. We're still waiting on the other third. Um, so I guess we'll just keep y'all entertained until the our other sister gets here. Do you have anything you want to say, Tanya? Oh, I'm Lynna, by the way, y'all, and go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Mambo Tonya. Hello, hello. Why don't you tell them what the topic is?
Well,
Do we have anybody in here yet? Because you probably got to repeat it.
yeah, not yet. I see one person looking, but nobody said anything yet.
Ah,
So
all
I
by
guess
myself.
not completely.
Not completely. We don't want to be all by ourselves.
Right. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
Hey, Ashley, what's up? Yeah, Lynna created this cup. What was it, 3 years ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, about 3 years ago when we originally had Conjure Crew.
When we were skinny.
Well, I, I can't say I was skinny.
Skinnier.
Maybe
When we were
skinnier,
when, when
skinny
there when there was less of us.
when it was a little bit less to be loved. Now we just cuddly, we fluffy and cuddly.
What do they say? Shady in the summer, warm in the winter.
Hey, that's what they say. Let's see. Hey, Tanya. Ashley says she good. Hey, AB, we good. We good. I woke up this morning cleaning. What else did I do? I worked in my garden. So I woke up this morning with a little bit of like energy to get some shit done that needed to be done.
Yeah,
So
up in your step. What time did you get up?
I got up late, to be honest. I think I got up at 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I got up at 9. Oh, let's see. Cam said, good evening. I had a scammer acting like you boxed me on some crazy stuff.
We
Yeah,
will never, none of us will ever inbox you.
yeah. And the
Not
crazy
unless
thing,
not unless you send a message first to us. But we're not
yeah.
just going to randomly or send you friend request or any of that stuff.
That's sad because we constantly have to keep putting that out there. Like, be careful, be careful, be careful. Thank you for sharing that. Just because they're everywhere. They're on IG, they're on Facebook, they're on TikTok. I mean, any kind of place that can get money.
Yeah.
Ashley said I did. I said I smell your nappy pee and they blocked me.
Oh my God.
Hey. Well, you know what? I be playing with them too. They be talking about, hey, Tasha. They be talking about this is Divinity Diva. And I was like, no, really? Like, what do you look like, Divinity Diva? And then they were like, that does not matter. And I'm like, no, but I really want to know what you look like. And then they'll give me some random description or whatever. And I'm like, let me see your face. And then, they block me.
You know
Like,
what's funny is I had Divinity Diva send me a friend request when I was sitting on your couch. I'm like, look over at you, and I'm like, I know she just did not send me no friend request.
well, it used to be that they would get real creative with the spelling. Now they just put like a little extra little space that if you don't really pay attention, you don't catch it.
Yeah,
And
but it's a business page.
yeah, so you don't have to friend
Divinity
request.
Diva is a business page. The Calico Goddess is a business page. Scottish Sunflower is a business page. We don't have friends. Old ladies
Oh,
like us, we don't have friends.
speak for yourself. I got friends.
Can you count them on one hand? No.
Shit, I might be able to count them on one hand, but I got some friends. Cam said she put a bed on me.
A hex.
A hex. I see the hex come in at the top now. I'm like, what is a bed? Is that something new? Hey, Derek. Unfortunately, this is just a way of social media. They getting money off of people, so they're gonna
Yeah.
keep doing it. They get that. I mean, they get paid. You know. People send them in. It's crazy because somebody told me that they got for $400, and I've been reading for this person maybe 5 years. I was like, "You have never sent me $400 before in your life. Why all of a sudden would you send $400?" Because then I have people that complain, "Oh, you went up on your prices," but then I'm realizing some people are willing to pay $400 for a reading.
Right? Hey,
Yeah.
Tiffany. Hey, Lavetta. How are you guys? Girls, ladies.
Hey, what's going on? We love you back. So
What is he
today the
doing?
topic is going to be, what is it? Questions that we get asked all the time.
I
What
think just random shit, wasn't it?
was it? I think it was random stuff that we get asked, and I'm assuming as readers or spiritualists or
Oh, okay.
about what we practice, right?
But that's not what I researched, but we can do that. I thought it was just like random stupid shit we see online. That cuz I what'd she say?
She
Oh,
says she's
she's
coming
not.
on.
Okay. Cuz I tell my kids all the time I'm perfectly fine entertaining myself. And then when I said I was going to go do research on TikTok, I remembered I don't go on TikTok. I go on Facebook Reels. And so I went and looked on the Reels, and I don't know what Facebook thinks I am, but it's the most stupid random shit that I watch on Facebook Reels.
I think it's just stupid random shit all the way across the board though. Because that's what
There
social
was
media is. It's supposed to be escapism. Like you're supposed to get into things that, spark your interest or things that grab you. And then next thing you know, 3 hours later, you've been into puppies, aliens, you
yes,
know.
girl. And
Yeah,
it's been 3 hours, and I just set up a while ago. I had to
because
hurry up and get
it's
myself
escapism.
together to go live because I was still watching them videos.
We're stressed out. Our cortisol levels are high. So we need that mindless entertainment to kind of bring us back down, to kind of buffer that energy. But no, I thought it was random things that we get because I was in there washing my hair and then I was putting my head wrap on and I was like, what annoys me the most? And it's always when people ask me, am I pregnant? And I'm
Oh,
like,
you know what?
you could just
Mm-hmm.
go pee on a stick. Like they actually have pregnancy tests at the dollar store now. So I'm like, do I really need to pull cards on that?
Oh, I thought you were saying. Never mind. I had a random. Go
Well, you
ahead.
would thought that they were asking me, am I pregnant?
Yes, because I did
Hell,
have that happen to
Lynna,
me. Listen, I
my
was
booty belly
driving
is
for
not, it
Uber.
does not look like no pregnancy belly.
Mine does, I guess,
Oh
because
my fucking God.
I picked up these ladies at a hotel to take them to the cruise, and she was pissed because they're gonna be late. Well, maybe you should have scheduled an Uber sooner. When there may not even be a driver on the island. Why would you wait till the last minute? I digress. Anyway, I showed up. They could put she's getting snotty with me, so I set my ass in the car. I popped the trunk and let them load their own shit. It's three ladies. One of them was a grandma, so she sat up front, and the other two sat in the back. She reached over and pat my belly and looked back at them and said something in Spanish, and they all started being nice to me.
Are you, oh my
I
God.
didn't say anything. I just took them to the cruise. There she is. Yes.
Girl. No. Mm-mm. You better not touch my belly. You better
She
not touch my belly. That, mm-mm.
She did. She patted me on my belly and said something to them, and they all started being nice to me. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because I had on a dashiki, too, so that makes me look bigger, you know? Girl.
No, who? Oh, no. No.
What is
Mm-mm.
that?
You try to reach over and pat me on my belly, you ain't getting your fucking hand back. That is just like, even if you were pregnant, I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess maybe too, I just don't like random people touching me. Mm-mm. I remember one time, and it was a couple of years ago, and that's when I didn't realize that people were following me on YouTube, and that if they ran into me, that they were going to speak. I don't know what I
Oh
was thinking.
yeah, in New Orleans.
New Orleans too, a couple of different places. And I remember I was coming out of Half Price Book, and I heard this lady go, "Divinity Diva." And then I turned around and she started running towards me. And then I started running towards my car because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought she was going to attack me. And then she goes, "I watch you all the time." And I was like, "Girl, you next time don't do that." Don't do that. I thought I was running for my goddamn life. And then remember, it was a lady in one of the restaurants that hugged me. She just came up and gave me a hug. And I was like, no, this ain't, So just patting somebody and touching somebody,
So I missed something. What did I miss?
We were talking about, little things that people ask us or whatever that, might irritate us or whatever. And first I said, when people ask me if they're pregnant, because I'm like, okay, you can go pee on a stick. You don't need spirit to answer that question for you. And then Lynna was saying she went and picked up passengers and they were kind of being snotty and snooty. And then when they got in the car, the lady patted her belly, basically telling the other women in Spanish, "Oh, she's pregnant. Don't, give her." And I'm like, patted her belly?
That's not okay.
Mm.
Well, over in
Joy
Germany,
Bear?
like over here, there's a lot of older German people that feel it's okay just to touch your hair when you're walking. Like you'll be walking down the street and they'll touch your hair as you're walking.
But you know what? It's because you're African American.
That's what
It's
I
still
was going to say
annoying.
too. I was going to ask if it was white people.
Because that's Europe. That's Europe. I've seen that in Europe. I've seen that in Asia. Because of the hair texture, and it's almost like, yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, but they do.
Don't.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. It's annoying.
Because it's almost like, how does this grow out of your head? Like, how does that,
Yeah. I read this post and I don't know if it was real or not, but the lady was on the plane and I guess a lady saw her and she goes, "Ooh, black cotton candy." And she went to like try to touch it. And the woman said no and swatted her hand away. And she was so offended. But I'm like, I don't know what
Okay.
makes you think it's okay to personally touch someone in their
Okay,
own
wait.
state.
Go back. Black cotton candy?
That's what she said. Ooh, black cotton candy.
What, she was referring to her hair?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell. Y'all gonna get a lot of hell no's from me. What the?
But this was this woman's post, and I was like, it's so strange because I do, know when I was younger, and people just walking by and touching my hair and playing in the beads, and it was really kind of like, I was younger, so I didn't think anything about it. But then last month, a lady saw me. I was walking towards my room. I had rented a hotel room, walking towards my hotel room, and she goes, "Oh my God, your hair!" And she literally grabbed all of my hair and was rubbing it. And I was like, "No, what are you doing?"
Girl, I would have grabbed her nipple so quick and twisted it. Because if you touching, I'm touching too. And mine ain't gonna be nice. Oh, yeah, they don't want
What
to
they
do
call
that.
that, Tonya? A Texas titty twister?
They would get a Texas titty twister. You touch my hair, touch anything on me that
Oh no.
first of all, I think it's inappropriate. But if you touching me, I'm going inappropriate. I'm going inappropriate because
I mean,
you need somewhere in your brain, you need to click that's not okay.
yeah,
That's not okay.
but they do, and like still, even it's just interesting, and you would think like it would somehow have sunk in, like, please don't go touch this person's hair or just anything on their personal. But I've even had people, like some of my favorite bartenders, they'll walk up and they'll squeeze my breast and be like, "Are these real? Are these real?" I mean, I've had weird things happen to me. So,
Girl, I would go straight for the puss. Is this
you're always
real?
trying to grab something.
I'm telling you, when they say match energy, I would match energy. Like I really would. I'd grab a handful of it too and give it a little squeeze. I think that's so weird. But back in the days, I grew up in a time where we were corrected. If you put your hand on something, you were slapped. if you were inappropriate or even if you leaned up against somebody, you were slapped. Like we were conditioned to know you keep your hands to yourself. So I think that's so weird. I get the culture in other countries because it's like, oh, the black person is there, they're a little bit different or whatever, and all this, they got different hair. But even with that, you cannot tell me that you were not brought up with a basic understanding of personal boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think they definitely know personal boundaries. I don't know what it is where, because I don't know if it's a cultural thing, because I've seen people in America do it. Like, I've seen videos where, like, the lady's rubbing on the guy's locks, just sitting there, playing in his hair from a different table. And I'm just like, you could kindly, politely ask him instead of putting your hands in his hair.
Jordan had lice. What was it? Was it last year or the year before last? And I was like, how the fuck did you get lice? And he goes, oh, this girl at the bar was rubbing her hair against my hair. And I would, because she loved my locks, she was rubbing her hair. I said, don't you ever let somebody do that shit to you again. Because I mean, his locks are to his waist. If we, I thought we were gonna have to shave his head, and he was okay with it. But we literally had to go through 3 lice treatments to kill everything that was in his hair to keep his locks. And it was because somebody was just rubbing their head against his head because she thought it was cute. Probably thought she was gonna get a little booty out of him. And like I told him, same way that they got lice up here, they got lice down there too. Don't bump no uglies. Don't bump no. Sometimes you got to educate.
And his hair is his hair. It's not extensions.
It's not. I'm sure she was flirting with him. No, I'm sure rubbing her head against his head was like some type of flirtation.
No, I was saying though, but getting bugs in it though. He can't just take out extensions. Those are not extensions.
No. Yeah, those are like locks. Let's see what Yvette said. I fought to have folks not touch my locks for years. One lady had my hair in her hand across. Oh,
yeah. And it's so strange because, like, I see people and they have, really pretty hair or interesting hairstyles or, just even like tattoos or so. But I never think, oh, let me touch you. I don't think that. I don't know.
Well, too, I think the spiritual component of that is also there because to people, their hair is their crown.
Yeah.
It's sacred. A lot of times when we go places and we don't want to be tainted by the energy of those places, we wrap our head. We cover our crown. I remember one time I was at a convention, an aesthetic convention, and a lady goes, do you want to take off your head wrap and try this new wig? Why the fuck would I take off my crown, something that's protecting my crown, to put something on and I have no idea what this is, where it came from, is it washed, nothing. Yeah. And I told her that. I was like, Black women are not going to do that. They're not going to take off their head wraps and try on a wig.
Tatil said, who is Jordan? Jordan is her son, who looks like a little supermodel. Tonya has beautiful children.
But he's a Gemini, y'all. Y'all don't want him.
Crazy.
I don't want him.
That right there. He's crazy.
And he a mean, he's he's a mean Gemini. He's nice mean.
He's nice to me.
He's nice mean, but he's a Gemini, and that's all I'm gonna say.
They do not forgive.
He's a beautiful Gemini.
Does he talk about me behind my back? Because he's always been nice to me.
Oh no, he's nice. He's never said anything about you, but he's very sarcastic, and his biggest pet peeve is dumb people.
Okay.
If he tells me all the time, I'm like, are you gonna give her a go? She's dumb. She's dumb. He reads a lot, he researches a lot, and if you're not on his level to have conversation, he won't do it.
Okay. See, we always only thing we ever talk about is cars.
And that's probably something that you and him relate. Yeah. But anything else, he be side-eyeing me sometimes with conversations.
What was it? But he knows, I don't know. He knows me. Because even when you were on live and I said, hey, Pooks, and he said, is that Lynna? Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. He definitely knows. But his hair is definitely, like I said, back in the Bible in the old days where you saw a lot of men and women that grew their hair out.
Samson.
Yeah. It was a source of their power, of their connection to their divine. So the whole idea that people would so freely be willing to touch somebody's hair. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think part of that is, I don't know where it got lost in translation, where people just don't honor personal space. I hate when I'm standing in a line and someone is right on me. I hate it. I hate if I could feel your breath on my body. I hate it. I have issues.
I'm a hugger, but I'm a picky hugger.
Well, I think too, COVID for a lot of us made us appreciate distance.
Mm-hmm.
Because before COVID, we were all on top of each other. And after COVID, I'm like, okay, I'm like you, I don't need to feel you breathing on me now.
Yeah.
Like you can still back up, because it doesn't feel good. It feels weird. So that makes sense though. I think a lot of people have learned how to create distance. And
I'm laughing at all the people in the comments saying he needs a Libra woman. I'm a Libra, and I'm sitting up here like, I don't know what Geminis need. I can tell you that.
His mama's a Libra too.
Well, to be honest,
he got a Libra woman enough.
We trying to get him one outside the house though, so he can go live with her. Not this one, but we do get along really good. I have a Sagittarius and I have a Libra. Now y'all know the Sagittarius and I butt heads all the time. He and I have never had an argument. He's 29 years old, 28, 29. We've never had an argument. We've never had a disagreement. Yeah, never. He's always been a good son.
I got Sagittarius and a Scorpio.
Well, bless your little heart.
Well, I'm in the house with Gemini, Leos. Wait, one Gemini, two Leos, a Sagittarius, and I think not a Capricorn. I can't remember what his zodiac sign is. But yeah, we have a lot of strong zodiac signs in my house.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I'm a Leo, my mom's a Leo, my dad's Leo, and my brother and sister are both Aquarius.
Ooh.
That shouldn't have been difficult. I'm lying. That's definitely difficult.
No, that would be difficult. Aquarius and fire, air and fire is combustible. It just is.
Yeah.
It would have been the communication definitely would have been difficult.
It is difficult to communicate with Leos, actually. Well, I have to say my brother is a very easy Leo to communicate with. He's really calm. He doesn't lose his cool, even in the worst of situations. His facial expressions say everything. He doesn't like stupid people. He doesn't. And instead of telling you you're stupid, he just walks away. He just leaves you there talking to yourself. I've seen it. It's so embarrassing. But
that's how Jordan is.
You're just like, he doesn't even try to correct you. He's like, okay, and then he just walks away.
Yeah, Jordan does the same thing. I'll still be talking and he'll be in the garage. I'll hear the door close. And I'm like, did we just end the conversation? It's like, yeah, you're not getting it. So I'm out.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to try to prove it to you. You'll have to figure it out yourself. And it's so funny. I'm just always like, wow, he has such a good heart. He's such a sweet boy, but he will leave you standing there talking to yourself. And that sucks so bad.
Girl, it is, definitely the signs, especially the placements can be so, so up and down with people. You guys, what's going on in the spiritual community that you want us to talk about? Anything interesting going on this week that y'all want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about vampires.
Energy vampires, real vampires, sexual vampires.
Real vampires.
They have the vampire ball coming up in
New Orleans.
Is it October? In New Orleans?
Yes.
Well, my question is, if sperm has more lives in it than blood, how come vampires don't suck cock?
Who says they don't? We did our interview with a vampire. It was a lot of cock sucking, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, seriously, I'm just so mad at myself that I'm sitting here
But
really
they're
like, what
dead.
answer can I give to that? That would be
I
illogical.
mean, they're dead. The sperm is
They
dead. Like,
they have to suck the blood
I'm
to
starting to
stay
think
alive.
that Lynna needs to be medicated. Lynna needs to be medicated.
So first off, we
I
know
need an
they
allergy pill is what I
We
need.
definitely
My nose
know.
is running.
do. They do
Every
that.
fucking time we have these conversations.
I mean, it's just the fact that she said it with a straight face. She's like, okay, so
Oh
yeah.
God, I can't even see y'all. Hold up. Woo.
You need a napkin?
I need something.
I
Okay, so there
yeah.
can't. I don't even know where the fuck to go.
I was like ready to answer it, and then I was like, you know what? It's not gonna work.
Okay, so technically a vampire is unalive. Sperm cannot. You can't produce sperm. You
Okay, but if they go without the blood, they'll die. But there's more lives in sperm than blood.
I don't think it works that way.
yeah. I'm trying. I really am trying.
I don't think it works that way. I think
Nika, you never know what's gonna come out this woman. I'm starting to think this woman is taking something before we do these things. Because
whatever you're taking,
perplexed.
I want it to.
Okay, so Ashley can't give sperm without blood flow. Okay, vampires don't have. Thank you, Ashley. We got a voice of reason because I'm so lost right now. I don't even know where to go with this.
Because I'm up here trying to pull every science class I have out
Me
in my
too.
head. I'm like, okay, so sperm, yes, it has this, but then it connects, and I'm just like, but I don't think, even if they did,
Hey, Mambo
let's say they
Tonya.
did suck sperm, how much sperm are they gonna have to suck to be able to keep their heart beating? They're
And to
dead.
be
More than
honest,
I'm willing to.
well, here's the thing.
And here's
I mean,
oh my God, there's
are there
Marcus. He
even
was
enough
like,
men for them
which
to get nourishment? I mean, I know men outnumber women. I mean, let's be logical about this. It could happen. Now, Marcus is saying vampires from what mythology? So maybe Marcus, who is a vampire himself, would know what mythology that these semen sucking vampires are from. So, Marcus, would you care to elaborate? Because I just want to be educated at this point.
I mean, I just had one weird. Well, I wrote down random ass questions, but I'm like, that still beats it. Now that you said it, that still beats.
Now, wait a minute. Wait. Y'all remember what was it? What was that movie with Wesley Snipes? Where he was a vampire.
Blade Runner? Blade. Yeah.
Remember the female vampire, whenever she would have sex with the man and she opened her legs, her fangs were in her vagina. And
wasn't that like a ventriloquist?
So she could have been feeding off, logically, because of the movie, she could have been feeding off of the blood or the semen within that situation. So Lynna might not be too far off. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't
remember that vampire. I don't remember that vampire, but did she? I mean, wouldn't she have to like lob the dick off? Didn't those guys die after?
I don't know. That I don't know. Or did they become vampires?
What about the one from American Gods, the goddess that would suck the people into her body as she was having sex with them?
But she was a succubus, though. So, I mean, would a succubus be a form of a vampire?
I would say, yeah.
Because she was basically sucking their life force, bringing their life force into her.
Yeah, left them dead.
Yeah, she drained them. So I mean, I guess Lynna may have, okay, Marcus is saying yes. So succubus is a form of a vampire. So I guess whatever Lynna took this morning, there's definitely something to it.
And I want her to start sharing.
But doesn't a succubus feed off of energy though, right? So
yeah, but blood is energy. Because like when you're doing spell work, if you want that extra or you want to be powerful, you use your blood because it's energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But she was inhaling everything. Their body, their life force, their
She
blood,
sucked
everything.
everything up there. Like the
That's
person,
true.
it was gone.
Nika's like, this sounds like a conversation you had with somebody on shrooms. We probably would have solved this about 5 minutes ago, Nika, if we was high. If all of us was high, we probably would have solved this 5 minutes ago.
Or we would have had more questions.
Possibly.
I did have more questions written down, but now my tablet's out of battery, so I forgot.
Blood is life, it's energy, the energy we use for our bodies. Yeah, and it's true.
Yeah.
It is true. So I guess either way they would get nourishment, Lynna. If you're asking the question that way, either way they would get nourishment. But either way
But
they
if
get
so my theory is you can suck the blood out of one person or you can suck many persons.
Yeah, but think about because
that's a lot of little swimmers in there.
I know, but not everybody ejaculates the same amount.
And yeah, that's what I was thinking
but
too,
even
because
if
you have
do
some
two
people that are
little
like
sperms,
shooting
that's more than
blanks, so
one.
they're not.
Yeah, you could get a blank shooter. Or what about like if?
Uh-oh, did she freeze?
She's caught in deep thought.
Okay.
Okay, she might not unfreeze within this thought.
I guess she went a little too deep. No, I'm bad.
Would you say she went a little too deep? She'll come back.
Yeah, then I coughed. It went too deep.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. So while we waiting on Shishi to come back with her thought process, what else is going on in the spiritual world or the spiritual community that y'all want to talk about?
Oh, there she is.
Mercury say full trance.
Welcome back.
I have no idea what happened. I was talking about like what if it was unhealthy sperm and then it said boom, gone.
Well, you froze. You thought about it. So unhealthy sperm.
But if they suck the blood from a dead person, that's unhealthy for them too.
Well, they can't.
Yeah, but
they can't suck the blood from a dead person.
Yeah. There's no sperm in a dead person. Okay, so I don't know if it counts as spiritual community, but I want to know because I've been thinking about it, right? We were talking about alien abductions and stuff. So if aliens were coming to abduct you, what would your elevator pitch be to get off Earth?
If they're going to abduct
I would just start with Earth is ghetto.
Why do they have to? If they're coming to abduct you, why do you have to convince them to abduct you?
Well, let's put aliens are coming down to take a certain amount of people with them from Earth.
Oh, okay. That
would 144,000. Right?
Yeah, that would be easy. The first thing I would say is you can anal probe me because we know that's what they want to do. We know that's what they want to do. And it's going to be some people that are not going to want to be anal probe because I used to not want to be anal probe. But if I was trying to be to the top of the list, I would 100% go with anal probing. Straight.
So that would be your elevator pitch. You can anal probe me. Volunteering. But what if it was like an ugly alien probe? You know, like the bitch from Alien.
I don't even care. It's so bad right here. I probably have dealt with people that look like aliens in my real dating life. So I'm cool with that. I think I could be cool with that.
Okay. Okay.
I'm easy nowadays. I believe the older you get, you just don't even give a shit anymore. Like, come get me. What would be your pitch?
Your elevator pitch? Mine? So at first I was starting with like Earth is ghetto and I'm willing to do anything to go. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I got caught up in it. I was like, what does the alien look like? Does it look like the Predator or does it look like the bitch from Alien? Yeah, or does it look like a lizard alien? And then I was like, because I don't want to be abducted by just anybody, you know.
Naya,
Look,
Mama
Because
Naya
look,
said she clean with her titties out. I think you have to. I mean, I
you
think you
can,
overthinking Shishi.
yeah, because you done left the United States. You forgot what we say about the flag.
okay, so my elevator pitch would be,
Because you can
I don't
put a
know.
flag
I mean,
over
at
their
this point, I
face.
might be like you. I might be like you. I might be like open for service because I'm not really sure. And that's why I was thinking, I was like, what could I offer the aliens that they don't have besides, Punani and maybe planting plants outside? I provide edibles. I mean, what would I do?
I mean, they have the intelligence. They want to study us. So, I mean,
She said, at this point, I'll take the creature from Alien. Anything is better than Earth.
yeah, I don't even think that most people would even worry about what they look like, what they smell like. At this point, it's like, just come get me.
That's what I was
Just,
saying. You can put a flag over their face and fuck them for glory.
and Nika's right. Like, they already have the intelligence, they have the technology. I mean,
Exactly. You'd
I
have to
mean,
have something to
do
offer
they need
them.
your skin? Do they need, I mean, what, like you say, what is it that you can offer them that they would want to take? And they want to experiment on us. So, the first thing would be like, yeah, you can go ahead and do,
Anal
I don't,
probe.
I mean, I've seen them drill in people's heads and shit like that. I mean, at this point, it's
You're
whatever.
open for it all.
It's whatever.
What would your
What would
elevator
yours
pitch
be,
be,
Lena?
Lynna?
I'm almost scared to ask Lena. What would yours be?
I know. I want to know.
Honestly, I would help them cart everybody else off if they just leave me here alone in peace. If you can just take all the stupid people and leave me here, I'll be all right. I'll help you. Point them in the right.
Now that might be
I,
beneficial.
I'll help them corral all the stupid people.
See, she's
So
offering
you'd
a
be like,
service.
I would offer
yeah.
all the MAGA people. Here you
So
go.
you'd be like
Lena.
Will Smith. You'd be like Will Smith, and you'd be like the last human on Earth.
And I'd be okay with that. I can entertain myself.
She really could. Nika said, when you think about it, we really hear about new abductions. They've gotten what they needed and realized. And she is right. Abductions have gone down, way down in years. Like back in the 70s, they were coming and picking people up left and right. And I want to say when we started having babies and these 90 babies and these 2000 babies, they're not coming to pick them up. They not. We don't even hear about the abductions anymore. It's a reason for that, y'all.
They might be getting abducted and then say, "What'd you do last night?" Nothing. What do you mean nothing? Don't you want to talk about it? Ugh.
Oh, Joy said it makes me wonder if it's astral abductions, and that would be interesting.
It might be because some of the kids nowadays are zoned out.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that would be deep. I mean, but it absolutely could happen. It absolutely could happen. There are a lot of people that go on trips that don't come back, whether it's medicinal or chemical induced or even through meditation. I remember I massaged a guy a couple of years ago. He went to this rave in a city not too far from us and took a pill, and he came back and he was like, I see demons all over the place. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know what opened me up to this. And he ended up checking himself into an institution, and he's still there. So something that he took literally took his mind.
Oh wow.
So did he get a bad trip? Did he astro? Did he get stuck on a different plane?
Maybe.
Well,
you have to be
think
careful about astral projection. You have
Yeah.
to learn how to tether yourself. You have to be able
Yeah,
to
you
get
do.
back.
And I think a lot of people, they think it sounds fun. Like, we're just going to go everywhere. I actually know one guy. He was like, I'm going to project myself into my ex-girlfriend's house, her bedroom. he had the hardest time getting back. And I say it was probably karma because how petty he was being. But I think people think it's fun and then they just hop out there, they do it, but they don't know everything that's about it. And it is. If you don't know what you're doing, sometimes some people can't get back to their body.
It's true.
Naya, I didn't know that was real. I watched that series called Manifest. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh no, that's real, Lynna. The flight completely disappeared.
Is that what that
From
show
Malaysia?
was based off of?
No, it's not. But it did. It completely. They don't know what happened to the flight.
Yeah, because they were looking for the
The
black
show
box,
was
and the
really
black box
good. I
and
liked
everything
the
was gone.
show. The plane showed up 5.5 years later.
Let's see. He definitely had a bad trip, Mercury Virgo. Yeah, Nika, I don't think. I feel like that there was some type of spiritual thing that happened to him, where his sight or something did, because we had a real deep conversation, that last conversation that we had, and he explained God and how God looked. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, Joy is on here. Joy took me to a friend and we did what is it, DMT? Is that what you call it?
Was,
Where the little man,
was
the
that the
Technicolor.
asshole?
No,
Was that the
no,
asshole journey? Okay.
no. But I think it's like 7 minutes. And you suck the DMT or you blow. I can't even remember if I sucked or blowed. Lynna got me all confused over here about the sucking and everything else.
I never said anything about blowing.
Well, I think I sucked or blowed. DMT. When I tell you, in that moment, first of all, the little Technicolor shit really blew my mind. Like, I did not like it. I did not. It was weird as fuck. There was a little man with a little hat, and the guy was like, if you take another hit, you're going to open the door on the other side and see God. And I was so, because I think I'm a control freak, I was so uncomfortable with letting go of control that I had a hard time. We smoked it. Okay. Well, I know we did something with a big ass bong. The thing about it is I saw visions within that whole experience that made me feel uncomfortable. Like I saw a man pulling my pants off and trying to have sex with me that was there. And then when I came out of it, the guy was all the way across the other side of the room. He didn't move. He didn't do anything to me, but my mind's eyes showed me him trying to have sex with me. That made me feel very uncomfortable. There are things that I think that you do see in those moments, where there's a borderline of, is this a spiritual experience versus going too far and it ends up being a bad trip? Like, like what the fuck? But I didn't like the little Technicolor man. When I was driving home, I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I'm going to do that again. But it was an interesting experience. But I can see where you could go too far over and fuck your head up.
Well, I think a lot of people, when they go to raves, they mix pills, and that can have a negative reaction too. And I think anytime, which I'm all for hallucinogens or, you doing your trip, whatever. But I think you have to be really careful where you get things from people. And some people, when they go places, they don't care. And I think some people, when they're making stuff, just like when we make products for people, we put our energy in there. So I think the same happens when people are making, these pills or whatever they're doing. You don't know what energy they're placing in there that you're taking on too. So,
well, I think if you're doing it like ayahuasca or something, if you're doing it for a spiritual experience, then there's a whole ritual that should go with that. Like you should cleanse, you should bathe, you should be in sacred space, you should have, supportive people around you. If you're just, hanging out at the bayou with a group of friends and you decide to hit a pipe, and you don't know if these people are going to support you or anything like that, that's a completely different experience. Because you don't know what you're setting yourself up, and then they might not even be able to deal with what comes through. Like I have been in ceremony where people have had really big like experiences, and they've had these shamans or these priests that were able to come in and tame these spirits or help them balance that energy out, versus a group of people that are just hanging out and then something happens, and next thing you know, it's a bad experience because nobody knows what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
So you are right. And then too, people mixing shit. Like you don't know. You don't
Because
know.
I know like one of my friends, he is an avid drug user. And he's like, you take like he goes, we take testosterone for this, and then you take this to get high, but then you level it out with this and level it out with that, and you can drink this. You have to drink it every like so often, so then this balances out. And I'm like, that's too much. That's too much for me. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick
It
with my
is.
edible.
The first time that I tried shrooms, and it was my fault. It was 100% my fault. I took the shrooms and I was chewing them and nothing happened. Like 10, 15 minutes, nothing happened. I was like, let me go ahead and just finish the whole bag. Which probably was not the right thing to do. So then I get in bed, and I remember the person who gave me the shrooms was like, make sure your space is good, it's clean, you're comfortable. I know I'm gonna come off like a drug head off of this, like DMT, shrooms, and everything. Spiritual experiences, y'all. I was searching, I was on the journey. So some kind of way, I put my phone next to me and I put on this spa music or this, music to set the mood and everything. Jazz came in my room, and I don't know how I ended up on TikTok, but I was high as a kite. Jazz said, "Mama, you have been in here laughing your ass off for 3 hours." I could not stop laughing. When I tell you my jaw was hurting because I was laughing so hard, and it was like literally I couldn't stop. I could not stop. And then I think Spirit just knocked me out. But that was definitely not the shroom experience that I was going for. So yeah, the whole my setup was not right. Last time I did shroom shoot, I called Paran and cried for like 12 hours. I'm sorry, Naya. I don't know how I still had tears.
I'm just mad that you're laughing. That you're like,
because I know how that feels. Shrooms, when you try to stop doing whatever it is that you get stuck doing, you cannot fucking stop. You cannot. If it's laughing, you will laugh for hours. If it's crying, you will cry for hours. It's the craziest shit. So, yeah, I can definitely.
I know. My one friend wanted to do shrooms with me, and we never got to do it. But she was like, you have to be very careful around the people, whoever you're around when you're doing shrooms. She's like, you want to be in the safest environment possible, and she goes, you want to make sure that you're not going in anxious, you're not going in frustrated. She's like, you want to come into the experience calm, and she goes, you want to be around safe people. And so we never got to do it. We never got to get any, but I've never done them. I've wanted to do them for a while, but then I'm like, who would I want to be around, during this experience? Should something go awry, who am I going to trust to be able to, get me out that situation? So I don't know.
Look, Nika said,
but I would like to try it.
I took shrooms and made the mistake of going outside, and everything is so alive. She's right. The colors are more vivid. The sounds, it's almost like I would imagine being bit in a vampire, and next thing your senses get all, heightened and everything. So that would be scary. Let's see what Marcus said. A word of caution: using psychedelics and hallucinogens. Well, there's a what is that phenomenon called auto activation? After using it, can happen in small percentage. Can be manifested as continuous experience or altered states of periodic cycles. Mark is so fucking intelligent, going into altered states without using the drug for an extended period of time. It's true. That's what bad trips are. Some people get stuck. I've heard of people that get stuck on the other side, and they're like, I can't come back. I'm trying to come back. I've seen relationships fall apart because the person ends up having to check themselves into some type of facility because they are spiritually or mentally stuck. And then I've heard where there's walk-ins or demons or things that come into your body when you're under these influences. Now, I don't know how true that is. I've never experienced that. which I think would be like a possession or something where you're being mounted, where the spirit does not want to leave. And so you can't come back into that reality or that existence because something else has already stepped in. So I don't know.
I have heard of that. I've heard of that. And I think that's why, to be honest with you, I think that's why some people can't come back to their body after they astrally project.
Because
Well,
something stepped in.
what do you think about people who they say are schizophrenic? Do you think that some of those people are maybe stuck in another world? Maybe they're talking to spirit. Maybe they're not crazy.
I mean, I think there's a fine line between what is clarified as mental illness, and we have chemical reactions, we have hormonal reactions, we have a lot of environmental things that come into play with a lot of that too. But I will say, I went to visit a friend one time in a psychiatric hospital, and while I was waiting in the area, this woman came and got me, and she said, "There's a woman in my room that will not leave." And I was like, "Okay, you need to call the nurse. I don't work here." And she goes, "You can come in and make her leave." And I was like, know what she was talking about. When I went into her room, there was a woman in all white that was standing in the corner. Now, this woman was translucent. So she was a spirit apparition or a ghost. And the woman saw her. I saw her clear as day too. When the nurse came, when I went and got the nurse did not see the woman in the corner. So here I am like, shut the fuck up before they keep you here. Because I'm telling them, I see a woman and they're telling me there is no woman. So was this woman spiritually gifted or was she mentally unstable? She could have been a little bit of both. And it could have been her spiritual vision made her unstable. So I think there's a fine line with that.
You saw it too.
I absolutely saw it. I absolutely saw a woman in white that you could see through.
But could that be a possibility also, like with, people who have or are considered like mentally unstable, schizophrenic? Could it be that their spiritual gifts, because they don't have anyone to help them hone it, that this is what sends them into that manic situation?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is they're not really crazy. They're talking to spirit.
Well, I mean, we talk to spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself crazy, but I have enough sense to not be doing this in Walmart.
Yeah, but that's what Shishi's saying. Maybe they didn't have someone to mentor them.
It could
And
be,
seeing dead people.
Because I think that, like Tonya said, it could be a fine line, but I do think that some people are so gifted that, just like, she's saying you can make her leave. There was something about you that she knew could handle it. But she's like, the nurses, they can't make her leave.
She
and
knew.
I think,
yeah. She knew that I would. I don't know how she knew that I would be able to see it, but she knew that I would be able to see it. And Karma asked, was I able to get the lady out the room? I did see the lady outside of the building when I was getting in my car. Now, my whole thing at the time was like, please, please, please don't come home with me. Don't come home. Don't follow me. No, no, no. I don't want you. I don't know. Because I cleanse, I protect, and I put wards around my house so that I don't have a lot of spirits that just walk in. But I don't know if she went back into the building. She could have been stuck there. She may have died there. I don't know.
I think when you go to certain places like hospitals, mental institutions, I think there have been such shady things that have happened in there, especially if it's an older building, that I feel like the energy there with pain and whatever is definitely a lot higher than maybe in other places, because it's like why you have so many haunted mental institutions that are closed now, and people go in there like, oh, there's still spirits here. But I think as far as schizophrenia and things like that are concerned, I don't think all of them are mentally ill. I do really believe that
I don't either.
They are strongly gifted, and I do think they get put into these places where the people, because they don't know how to relate, they can't see what these people are saying. Then, like Marcus said, the drugs that are being given to them leave them open and defenseless.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if
think
they are
about it. I mean,
gifted.
and then you're just sitting there kind of like in a drone like state because of medication they gave you.
And it makes it worse.
Mm-hmm. And then Marcus has a good point too. People who have been initiated, have gone through ceremony, or had their heads made, may be more susceptible to being mounted or possessed, because in Vodou we do get mounted. So he is right. And it's interesting that you say that, because since I have been initiated, my last time, I don't feel the need to experiment with these other things, just because now I know that I can be mounted by other spirits. I can be mounted when I'm doing service at my altar, and I always am mindful of, do I want my kids to come out their room and see me, as a gede in here dancing and humping the wall, because that's happened before. Because I've gotten so much in the energy, the spirit has overtaken me, and I'm able to shake that off, because I'm able to get control of my body, my energy. But with drugs, you are, maybe in altered states, a little bit more vulnerable. And like you said too, that could even be with the medication that they're giving you at the hospitals, because it may kind of, counteract with your will of being able to fight the energy off. A lot of times when you see people mounted and stuff like that, you surprised I haven't thrown your back out. Shit, that's why it's hurting now. But you do see a lot of people that go in vulnerable. Like I've been to these institutions to visit friends, to visit family, and they're not at their best when they're in there. They're medicated, they're confused, they're questioning everything. And so, and some of it is spiritual. Some of it absolutely is spiritual.
Now, you brought up having your head made. So, and we're on that kind of on the same topic. What if you get the wrong spirit in your head?
Well, if you get the wrong spirit, it could, one, kill you. It could kill you, and then also it could cause your life to be completely upside down, because it's not the one that's supposed to be there. That's why you can't.
But wouldn't that make you crazy too?
Absolutely could make you crazy. And I think that's what happens to some people in these traditions that go, and not even in just ATRs, but in other practices, or people that go. Like I had somebody telling me 2 weeks ago they were going to do some ayahuasca retreat in somebody's garage. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah,
No.
they're a shaman, and they got some type of certification online. And I'm like, okay, that's not how that works. Like, like you have some people, like this lady I was talking to this morning, she said that she got her life coach certification for $7. Okay. I can understand that you can buy anything online nowadays, but does that mean that you have the knowledge to actually be able to do that? You're playing with people's lives. You're playing with people's energy. And if you're doing ayahuasca ceremonies in a garage, you don't know what this person is mixing up. You don't know what this person is about. And it's just not it's not a sacred setting. And you can make somebody go crazy if you don't know what you're doing. And I think a lot of people are doing this for money. They don't care if you come out okay. They don't care if your head is all right. They don't care. It's a sacred ceremony. You should be concerned that you're putting the right spirit there. So y'all, just be careful. I tell people, sometimes cheaper is not better.
No, I mean, if you're not going to take the class, why pay for anything at all? Because you can create your own certificate with pages or. Is everybody back? I don't know what happened.
I don't know. You switched places. I don't know.
I was worried.
Anyway,
I was like,
I keep dropping down in the cycle here now. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, you could make your own certificate with pages or Microsoft Word or whatever it is. I mean, if you're not going to take the class, why pay even $7? Just create the certificate yourself. It's the same.
Exactly.
Well,
You got
life
a lot of people
coaching.
that's. Oh, I'm sorry, Shishi, go ahead.
Well, life coaching is actually not a regulated field like therapy. I know, like if you do feel like you want to be under, you know, a certain organization, you would do the ICF, which is the International Coaching Federation. But think about it, like I know their prices range. Like you can go and you can get your life coach certification in the States and maybe say pay $1,200. And it may not be the best program either, but then you go and get another one because what Dr. Whoever did the interview with Cam Newton, Dr. Bryant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? It would be nice to add something more to my life coaching certification. What is her program like? Her program's $10,000. You know, and so a lot of people don't have just $10,000 to drop.
Well, you
And I don't
know,
But
know.
you
I don't know
get
if the
what you
person
pay
paid $7.
for too. And exactly. So if you pay $7, why even bother? Just print your own certificate because you're going to get about the same amount of knowledge, which is
well,
enough.
here's the thing. I think there are a lot of people that are very good at coaching other people that have they may have no education, no certification. You know, you might have a friend that gives really great advice or is able to help you structure your life good and not be
Hmm.
educated. Um, so I'm not going to
But
say that
then you
you have
wouldn't
to.
even need a certificate.
You wouldn't, but I think for people to charge certain dollar amounts and create a business with it, nowadays people are going to ask you, are you certified or do you have some type of certification? Just like in the spiritual community, have you been initiated? Do you belong to a coven? Do you are you know, they want to know what your knowledge is, what your attachment
Mm-hmm.
to whatever that organization is, and I think that's okay. If you are putting your energy and time into researching and learning something, then you have
Mm-hmm.
qualifications. You do. I don't think you necessarily need a 5-page certification for that. Life coaching, I don't think you're fucking with anybody's head. The head is already fucked. You're just trying to get the head structured. That's the way I feel. Whenever my life coach comes in and gets a massage, she's like, "Did you do your organization this week? Because we know that you don't like to organize, Tanya." And I'm laughing at her because I don't. So it's not that she's trying to reprogram per se. She's helping me with a habit that she feels like I need to work through. And we just do this through conversation and reinforcement. Getting your head initiated, getting your head made, there you're opening yourself up spiritually. There are spirits that are being brought down on top of you. And I don't think life coaching can make somebody go crazy. But I do know that if you are doing ceremonies that are putting spirits or bringing other spirits into your life, like Marcus say, death or madness are usually the worst things that can
Yeah.
happen in those situations. And so you have to make sure that these people are reputable, that the stuff that they're asking you to drink or put in your body is the real deal and it's not laced with fentanyl or you know, I've seen people, put grass and shit and go outside and pick leaves and then make a tea out of that and tell people, oh, you're enlightened for $500. You know that? No, that ain't cool. You can kill people. You can kill people. So I mean, it just depends.
I mean, and coaching can mess with someone's head depending on who is coaching you. You have some people who don't really care about what's going on in someone's life, and so they're just regurgitating information that maybe they got off of YouTube or just somewhere else. But I know some of my best coaches, some of my best mentors, um, they've sat down and they've done personal plans with me. They've gotten to know me. So the difference between, I think, a really good coach and just someone who's after the money is the time that they're willing to invest in you and the time that they've invested in themselves. So, and I know some people, one of my mentors actually did not get certified, and her business is very successful. And she definitely helped me on her way, helped me on my way. Honestly, the experience and the assistance that she gave me was invaluable to me. Um, So I can't say that I believe that someone has to pay a large amount of money to be able to assist people. I think
No,
some
what I'm
people
saying is
really
though
are.
that if you're going to pay $7 just to get a certificate,
It's
why
already
even
open to.
bother paying for it? Just make your own. If you're not going to get teaching along with it, you know what I mean?
But did she say she didn't get teaching along with it?
Well, I know there are. You can get anything on the internet. You can get Reiki certified from a distance, supposedly
Oh
on the
yeah,
internet.
Yeah.
You
for
know,
three
you just
dollars.
pay them the money, and then all of a sudden you got a certificate saying you're a Reiki master. When nobody came to see you, you didn't learn any of the symbols. Oh, was that
Right.
a tingle? Maybe I felt that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think when you look into somebody who is looking to be a teacher or an advisor or a coach, typically that person, if they're doing it for the right reason, they're researching and they are educating themselves to the best of their ability. Some people have natural talents with certain things. They just are
Yeah,
able to direct. Um, I don't I know I don't have the patience to be a life coach. I know I don't. I've
I
had
don't
people ask
either.
me in readings like, should I have sex with a guy? And I'm looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, don't you wouldn't your
I
vagina
know.
tell you if
I'm
you
a
if
Leo. I'm one of those. I don't like stupid people either.
I don't even think it's stupid. I think some people are
Some of
lost.
the questions are though.
I think we have to understand not everybody grows up in the same environments that support cognitive thinking or things like that. There are some people, I have friends that are in their 50s that are still confused about sex and they've been married. They have all these holes and they don't know what all these holes can do. So we're talking about people in their 50s that they're trying to educate themselves on something that was not either discussed in their family, was not allowed in their culture, and they're coming into a world where it's like, okay, how do I navigate that? And I don't necessarily think that's stupid. Now, are there some questions that go, yeah, a little bit wild, but there are literally some people out here that are lost. They are
Yeah.
lost because nobody taught them. But I know I wouldn't be the person. And you wouldn't either, Lynna. Shishi would be the person. She would be like, okay, let's think about that. I know what she would say. Let's unpack this right now.
Yeah.
That would be Shishi. Let's unpack this and let's think about this. And then she would give you A, B, C. Me and you, Lynna, would be like, what the fuck? Like that would be us. And so life coaching would not be our calling. It would not, and I wouldn't even try. I wouldn't even try to charge anybody.
I don't
Mm-mm.
know. I do like doing it. I like coaching people to find themselves. So yeah, it does require a certain amount of patience. There are times where I get some questions where I'm like, wow, okay. Then I breathe and I'm like, Tanya's right. I'm like, okay, let's look at this situation. I'm like, let's see where you're coming from and maneuver this.
Yeah. I'd be like, are you for real?
Yeah, I
I
think
used
because
to be very impatient though. I used to be. I don't know. I felt like the things that I've gone through have caused me to have a lot more patience than what I used to have. I don't know.
no,
But I
enjoy
used
it
to be.
because as you get older, you literally you just don't
Yeah.
have any patience
It's
anymore.
it
It's like,
it the older you get, the more over it you get.
yeah, I think so. But I think that that's why certain people are called to do certain things. And that's why even with spiritual experiences with joining organizations and things like that, like Marcus said, you know, people get initiated or they get involved in things that they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates a problem in your life. Like I'm not going to go into Cubanda because I know it's not for me. Just because somebody is like, oh, I think you would fit that. I know 100% that it's not for me. I'm not going to invest in it. I'm not going to take the time to research it. And it's because it's not my path. So I think for a lot of people, you just got to figure out what it is that you're trying to do, and then are you doing it for the right reason is the second question too. Because if you're just doing it for money, like we know a lot of people that charge $10,000 for classes.
Yeah, I think what he's saying too is that would be like me saying, "Oh, Tonya, I need to be your not your grandchild, your godchild. I need to be your godchild. You need to take me to Haiti and initiate me and put La Serene in my head or whatever, and because I like the ocean and even my car is an ocean and blah blah blah." And you're like, "Lynna, no," and I'd be like, "Tonya, yes, I'm telling you." But sometimes the student pressures the master, even though the student's not supposed to be in. I think that's what he's saying too.
He's right.
Sorry,
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, because I have been very honest with my god kids. I am not taking anybody to Haiti if they're not supposed to go. I don't care. It's not about the money. This really, at the end of the day, I have to be able to sleep well at night knowing that I did right by these people. I'm not going to just take you up there and take $10,000 from you and then bring you back fucked in the head, because I still have to answer to that with my spirits. I think that goes to your ethics, to your morals, to your character at that point. And there's a lot of people that I think operate that way. You know, I ain't gonna say I'm no goody and no angel, but I don't want to be put in a position where I'm taking advantage of somebody that is vulnerable in that moment when they're on a spiritual journey. That's a very
there are people who do.
There are, and I think all the way across the board. All the way across the board. I've seen people join covens that don't need to be in covens. Go ahead, Shishi. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was saying that, you know, like a lot of people, let's say they'll get a godmother like you and they'll say, okay, well, you're not doing for me what I want done, but this other house, this other woman who will become my godmother will do this for me and take me to Haiti. And that's because a lot, you know, I've run into situations where people did get into houses and things that the people didn't care about them, that they really cared more about the money. And these people, you know, they join these houses because they want to get initiated so fast because they think even for them, this title is going to help me get money, and they come back damaged, or they come back and things aren't working out the way they, you know, need them to work out. And I think that comes, you know, with wisdom as well as an individual. You can tell when somebody just wants to take your money. You can tell when someone does not really care about your spiritual well-being.
Yeah, that's true. Here's the thing, and you hit on it, the title. A lot of people do these ceremonies for power. Uh-oh.
What's uploading?
Did everybody disappear?
No. Nika was saying, did she say her car was in the ocean? And there's my car in the ocean.
In the ocean.
Am I still here? Can y'all see me? Hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Where are you at? Okay, you down. I see you now.
Yeah, at the bottom.
I was just showing Nika my car in the ocean.
Good Lord. I was like, what happened? But I think there are a lot of people that want the power, they want the title, and you have to understand that there is a lot that goes with initiations and things like that. And who is that tiptoeing in the back, Lynna?
Oh, I don't know, probably some random person. I didn't see anybody. Did you see somebody?
Yeah, there was somebody that was tiptoeing in the back. I think when you initiate and do things for the wrong reason, it's going to make things harder for you. I think that if you're going into it with, oh, call me Mambo, and let's be honest, a title doesn't mean anything if you don't put the energy behind it. It just doesn't. Right. You know, I could call myself Mambo all day long. If I haven't earned that title, it doesn't really mean a lot. If I'm not living up to that title, it doesn't mean a lot. Oh, Lydia, can a Loa reject an initiate? A Loa would not take your head if it was not supposed to take your head. Now, can people try to put a Loa on your head that's not supposed to be there and it rejects or whatever? I'm sure, because it's not supposed to be there. That's why you see some people go crazy and some people die. because somebody's trying to put the wrong spirit. The Loa choose you. The one that decides to take your head, it chooses you. So there is no rejection from that spirit because you were chosen.
But what about when you get the wrong spirit put on your head?
If you get the wrong spirit put on your head, it's because somebody doesn't know what they're doing, and are they doing it for money? And it could cause mental illness. It could cause you to lose money. It could turn your life upside down, and it has happened to people. It
But
100%.
does the person who, I'm sorry, the person that put the wrong law on your head, do they get penalized? What is their punishment? Because if you're going to,
Yeah, you do see people. You do see priests that aren't doing good. You see priests that are living in poverty. You see priests that their relationships never work out. You see priests that their god kids leave them. You know, they go through god kids like water. You pay attention. Pay attention to the community and look at people where they can't keep their god kids, or they, you know, they're every week they have a GoFundMe as a priest. You know, I need you to send me money or whatever. If you are aligned with your spirits take care of you. When you're walking in alignment with your path, you are taken care of. Are you going to be outrageously wealthy? That's between you and your spirits. But if you are in a position where everything is turning upside down for you, as an Ugan or a Mambo or a Babala or a Tata, there's something that is not in alignment with your spirits. Nothing. Do you think that's what happened to that lady? No, Nika. I think Mambo Dana, and I don't know a lot about it, but I know that she was in her 50s, and I think that Konzo is a very hard initiation. Some of these ceremonies are mentally hard, they're spiritually hard, they're physically hard. When I first started doing Konzo, I would go to the doctor before I went to Haiti and get my heart checked. I would get a physical to make sure that I was physically fit enough to do the ceremony. And while I was there, I didn't feel physically fit, even though the doctor was like, "Yeah, you should be okay." You are put through a lot in ceremony. You're put through a lot, and not just physically. There's a lot that goes on, and I think for a lot of people that Konzo or do initiations older in life, you have to be concerned about, you know, the condition of your body, the condition of your mind, the condition of, you know, the physicality of it. Like, if I have to walk 5 miles, can I do that? You know, if I have to do push-ups, or if I have to do, can I physically do that? I started working out hard before all my ceremonies because I knew the physical aspect of ceremonies. So I was a little bit more conditioned. Was I in the best condition that I could have been? No. I could have done way more. Have someone ever went into ceremony and came unmade? I think she meant to say no. So here's the thing.
What does that mean? What is unmade?
Okay, so Marcus is saying clarify the difference between Sevetet and Konzo. So Sevetet is getting your head made and bringing in your Metet, but it's a 3-day ceremony, and you are connecting with the Loa. You are connecting with the spirit. So the physicality of that, I'm not going to say that it's not hard, because some people struggle through it. Some people definitely have issues with it. And you're not becoming a priest. You are coming into alignment with the Loa that has chosen you, that wants to walk with you. Now, Konzo, we're doing Konzo to become a priest. It's a 9-day ceremony. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot more days that stretch out. Konzo typically takes place in Haiti. Seves or Lave can take place in the United States. So there's a difference between the energies of the ceremony. But for most people, Labe Tet or Sevis Tet is a 3-day ceremony that, even if you have health issues, can be challenging. There are some people that definitely, I had Labe Tet, and a few people in there had health issues. There were challenges. Konzo is is going to magnify that by 10 times, sometimes 100 times, because it's a very, very it's not an easy.
Powerful. It's a very powerful thing.
Both of them
And it
are
takes
powerful.
a lot from you.
Both of them are powerful. I don't want to take away from Sebe's Tet, because getting your Met Tet and connecting with that Loa, it opens you up to a lot of things spiritually that you can't even imagine. because you're having a spirit that's walking closely with you, even though we have a spiritual posse. But becoming unsi, which is amazing in itself, is not the same thing as becoming a priest, an ugan or a mambo, because there's just more things that are required that you go through. Let's see. See, I didn't know those ceremonies could be physically hard. Yes, they can. But wouldn't the spirit know if your body can or can't handle it? It's not the spirit that does you in. Um, a lot of people do ceremonies because they are dying. A lot of people that have cancer or have terminal illness will go to Cuba, they will go to Haiti, they will go to Brazil, they will go to places and have these ceremonies done because these spirits can save their life. So some of these people are going through these ceremonies with cancer, chemo, they're having withdrawal because they're not taking Western medicine anymore. They're going there and they're going through these ceremonies. And even though these ceremonies are necessary, a lot of them are not getting special treatment because they have terminal illness. They go there because they know they have to, and they go there focused on what needs to be done. There are a lot of people that go with terminal illness that do not die. The thing about it is that our physical body and the shape that we in definitely is going to be a factor in what makes that ceremony harder or easier. So it's not the spirit that's killing you, even though I know some people are saying, oh, because this person wasn't Haitian, the spirit killed her. Oh, because white people go to Konzo, these white people are dying. White people are not going to Haiti and dying. They're not. So it's not the spirits that are killing people. It's literally sometimes the physicality of the body where we're pushing ourselves to the limit. And that's just like training for the Olympics or a marathon or something like that. You're pushing yourself for a goal. And some people are not gonna, they might not reach the they might not cross the finish line. We have to be honest with that. My last Conzo, I didn't think that I was gonna it was rough. It was rough. And I started working out before it, and there were moments where I was like, I questioned it. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Because it was something that was hard. But I
There
think
was a lot. There was a lot going on then too, with the
yeah, there was a
assassination
lot.
and everything else. There was a whole lot going on.
Yeah. Okay, I have to get initiated.
Nika, we are doing readings, but people need to read the instructions. I mean, it's going across the ticker at the bottom of the screen or in the description, either one. But
Let's see. I have to get initiated to Oshun and Ogun eventually. So now I know to ask my godparents about the physical part. So here's the thing, Karma. You don't know about the ceremony. You don't even know what the ceremony is going to be. It's a rite of passage. So nobody's going to tell you about the ceremony. They're not going to tell you that you got to climb a mountain or you got to jump through a tree, and you ain't got to do none of that. I don't know. I don't know about your ceremony, but I'm just saying, when it comes to ATRs and we talk about gatekeeping and things like that, there are a lot of things that you don't know until you get there and you do it. But if you are going to do any type of ceremony, even if you're joining a coven, and I mean, I've heard about things that people have to do to get into covens that may be a little bit different. I've heard about covens where you got to bathe naked with the people or be under the moonlight naked. What if you have, some type of environmental sensitivity? I've heard where people had to sleep with the head coven mistress or whatever to be, that's part of their initiation into the coven. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know. A lot of things we don't know until you get there, and then you're like, oh, okay, all right. And then I guess it's at that point, do what the Romans do, as the Romans do,
when in
or
Rome,
either walk away from it, So how many times have I done Conzo? I have done Conzo twice. But I really think that anytime that we are doing any type of ceremony, whether it be ayahuasca, whether it be a shrooms or maybe DMT or whatever, that you prepare yourself for whatever that is. Even with life coaching and things like that, you got to prepare yourself to be able to work in that energy to the best of your ability, because you're trying to there's a goal. Lynna, what do you practice?
Judaism. But I mean, I do conjure too, and I do readings, and
Shishi, what do you practice?
Oh, I'm like, so much. I'm
I felt
eclectic.
that from the bottom of my soul. That was a
I'm an eclectic practitioner, but I do God, self, traditional witchcraft, and root work. Sophie, stop trying to eat my mechanical pencil. Crazy. So yeah, that's what I do. Traditional root work, hoodoo, and God self. So eclectic, but I've always been eclectic. I've always been eclectic since what? It's been years since Tanya's known me and Lynna's known me. I've always been eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you figure out what works for you. You know, the
Yeah.
path is a personal path. Everybody, Lynna wasn't practicing Judaism when I met her. So her path changed and she chose something that makes her very happy. You know, she glows in it. And I think that's part of the
Yeah.
learning experience of what works for me. And sometimes
Yeah.
what works for you at one point of your life doesn't work for you in other parts. Like, you know, you
It's
may
like friends. Some are for a season and some are forever, you know.
true.
Because I've been in a coven, I've been in a traditional coven with the Black Forest clan ran by Silver Raven Wolf. And it's not even a clan yet because she's not, or it's not a tradition yet because she's not dead, but they call it a tradition.
So the head mistress has to die before it becomes a tradition.
The originator has to die before it becomes a tradition.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. We need to do the next time we need to talk on covens and things like that because I didn't know that. That would be really interesting.
Okay.
I think it is interesting.
But yeah,
I never joined a coven.
I've been Baptist, I've been Catholic, I've been Wiccan. You know, you really have to find it is a journey. You have to find out who you are and believe what works for you. And nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Because each
It's just your
individual
path.
person is an individual and they have to do what works for them. You don't have to do what works for me.
Okay, what is meat magic, Shishi?
You know what? Lek mishamash.
What?
How about that?
Oh my god.
Respectfully. I didn't
Hold
know
up,
what to
somebody's at
call
my
it.
door. I'll be right back because I gotta hear. Go ahead, I'm gonna be listening.
No, I didn't know what to call it.
What is it?
I didn't know what to call it. So when you incorporate, meat into whatever ritual you're doing. And
What
so like
kind
if
of
you
meat?
want it depends on what you want the result to be.
What kind of
So
meat?
if I want
You want a
all
brisket
kinds
or
of
you
meat.
want a penis?
No, you could do like gizzards, you could do the heart, you could do ground beef. Like I said, it depends on the spell and what you want it to
Okay, like
be. I just called it.
not like beat your meat.
Yeah, no, like actual meat. And I forgot all about that. I'm like, thanks, Marcus. I was hoping everybody forgot that. And there here comes Marcus's ass. But no, it depends on what you want, the results to be. If you want someone to kind of lose their mind, become mentally unstable, you use ground beef.
Cow tongue.
In the ritual.
I've used a lot of cow tongue.
If I want someone to have their heart broken, I'm gonna use chicken heart. That's it. That's what it is. But I didn't know what to call it, so I was like, meat magic, using meat for what you're doing. So I don't know what you would call it. So
yeah, because I totally went in a whole different direction there.
Yeah, Lynna was on
what
masturbation.
Do you mean meat magic? What kind of meat do you try?
On masturbation. She's like, beating your meat? No.
I'm like, do you mean like brisket or penis?
Yeah, no, I'm like, what? And we have Lynna. We have Lynna.
We have Lynna.
We have Lynna.
who I believe is sexually frustrated. I do believe is sexually frustrated.
She needs some nookie. We need to get Lynna some nookie immediately. Some meat. We need to get you some meat magic.
But no lizard or gizzards, please. I've had enough gizzards in my life.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know, what would you guys call that if that's not what you would say? To me, that just seemed logical. If I wanted it to be a certain outcome and that's what I'm using.
Well, it's kind of it's blood magic in a sense.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking it was blood magic because you're using the blood of the meat.
The blood of an animal.
I don't know. I guess I like, it didn't seem so bloody, I guess. Maybe that's why.
Well,
I'm like, yeah. But it makes sense. That's what you would place it under, yeah. But it's already dead. So it's not like I have to sacrifice. Carne Conjure, man. You know what?
Carne Conjure.
See, when I go visit Canada, when I come visit Canada, you owe me food. You owe me food.
They said, when did you first realize you had clairs?
Feta cheese on the tacos up there. That shit ain't right. I don't know about Canada.
Good.
But Oregon, no. We from Little Mexico anyway, being in Texas. But put no damn feta cheese on a taco.
I mean, I don't know. It don't sound too bad. Oh, Lydia said it's running red lights blood magic.
Huh? Because it makes your blood circulate faster every time you do. You're like, whew.
I'm expecting that, Marcus, throwing me out, online like that. Yeah, I'm expecting some good Vietnamese food. The bestest in the world. When did you guys realize you had your clairs?
I know I was like in kindergarten, but I didn't know that it was called a clair. It was just, I was just talking to spirit that nobody else heard but me. But
I remember talking to the mirror and the mirror speaking to me, and I think I was about 6.
Yeah, 6, I was in kindergarten.
I requested from God, because my family was talking about all the ghosts and things they saw. I was like, God, if you love me, you wouldn't let me be able to see spirits. And then it was gone for a while. And then my friend died and it was back. Full force back.
See, I thought I was talking to Jesus because we made a closet into what we called a prayer closet that we could go in and it's our own little private time for prayer. But I was like carrying on full-on conversations. And I thought I was talking to Jesus and he was talking back to me.
Well, the closet is a portal. So, I mean, you definitely could have been calling in spirits.
Well, I was talking to somebody.
I don't know. I would say I was young too. I don't remember how old, but I just feel like I was young when I first started having experiences.
And I was, how old? I think I was like 4. You know that dream I told you that I still have every couple of years, but it used to be more often. I would have this recurring dream, and it was basically my parents were going to be separated, but I dreamed it first. And I was probably about 4 years old. And then, but even at 53, every few years, I'll still have that exact same dream. But I've dreamed other things, but that's the first one I remember.
Day Day said her first medium experience was in high school, and her parents told her she was talking to Jesus. And she goes, looking back, she didn't think it was Jesus. She doesn't think it was Jesus.
Well, back in the day, everybody thought anything paranormal was Jesus.
I think it depends on how you're raised too. Like I
Well,
said,
that is
my grandfather was a preacher, and we were living at my grandparents' house. You know,
well, I mean, definitely to have a prayer closet. But I know a lot of people that still have prayer closets now.
I don't know if I could do a closet now, lock myself in a space like that.
Oh, I
No,
know I couldn't. I definitely
I
know I couldn't.
can't.
My claustrophobic ass would be out of there. You wouldn't even be able to close the door.
I'm like, I
You
can't
would
do
not
it.
be able to close the door. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are a lot gifted or the clairs opened up and, people try to turn it into a religious experience,
I
you know,
think
because maybe that
um,
was
Mine
easy
was
to explain.
we
mine
all
was definitely
remember when we were like around kindergarten age. But in my personal opinion, I think that we're born open to spirit, and then we learn to
mhm.
close it off, just like with Santa Claus. We're born writing our list, making sure we're nice and we're not naughty and we don't get coal in our stocking. But then around, a certain age, people say, oh, that's not real. People say dragons are not real. So now you don't see dragons anymore, or this isn't real. Why? And so we start to block it off. So I don't think that, even though we can remember kindergarten, 4 years old, 6 years old, 6 years old, that's just our first memory. I think we were born with it.
Well, a lot of people are because it's a bloodline,
And
blood
Yeah.
then and
tie.
then we block it off as we age. We block it off. Oh, it's not real. And we start blocking it out.
Tanya, when I got older, when I was older and I was having my clair experience, my mediumship experience, I actually went to the church. I was in the church at the time, and they actually condemned it. They said something's wrong. I did something wrong, and yeah, it was not seen as a spiritual experience at all. At all.
That's
It was
sad.
not fun. It was not fun. And even now, like my colleague, um, he found out, what I do. And for like he gave me a Christmas card and he was like, mediumship is demonic and I don't want you to go hell. So I'll keep praying for you. And I'm like, so I those have been my experiences as far as like with religion being involved. It's been more condemned than welcomed.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that he doesn't believe that you see spirits, but he believes that there's a place that houses these
And
energies.
he can
And
pray
he
to
can send you
spirits.
there. His prayers can send you there. So that's such a backwards way of looking at something. Like basically you're saying you believe in something too.
Yeah,
I
he
don't think
believes
people
in
really
God and
listen
Jesus.
to themselves. Yeah. But you believe in
They
Jesus,
don't.
but you can talk to Jesus. You can pray and talk to an entity, but I can't see or talk to another entity. Like Jesus is the only entity that it's just crazy. It's
Yeah,
And
he
crazy.
and
sent me
what's
a two.
funny is they can pray and talk to a spirit that they've never seen, but we can't talk to spirits we do see.
Well, he sent me this 2 hour video about this woman who was doing tarot, and she's like, "How tarot ruined my life," and I was like, first off, people are always trying to blame something on something, and I know what earlier this year we talked about. Me and Tanya talked about a lot of people who had gotten into the spiritual world, into the spiritual realm. They were trying to get initiated. They were trying to do all these things, and they ran across people that were about money and not really caring about them. And they had all these horrible experiences, like how you were explaining, like people trying to give you the wrong spirit and things.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of saying, okay, maybe I should have been a little bit more discerning, they blame the religion or the spirituality as to why certain things happen to them. And then they freak out and they leave. And then they say their experience of that was evil. And I think
Well,
that's such a
that's like Doreen Virtue saying that all the tarot cards she was burning, even her cards were demon influenced and had demons in them. Don't use even her card. Girl, she's so fluffy. If a
There's nothing
demon
demonic
came
about
from Doreen's cards, I'd want to probably just pet it.
Marcus said, I knew of a person that truly believed wearing yoga pants can induce demonic possession. I'm pretty sure the yoga pants probably were bringing out the energy of all the men around her that were causing maybe her to feel some type of demonic
possession. But I think, like, for me, it's so upsetting. I think Doreen Virtue pisses me off the most. Pisses me off the most. Because in reality, I was like, what made her make this change? A dude. She fell in love, and a dude made her believe that everything she ever created was demonic. And I just think that must be some
only
good dick.
Only after she made millions.
I don't even necessarily think it was all the dude. Doreen Virtue always seemed to me to be a little wishy-washy. She just, I think initially
cards.
with all her retreats and everything that she was doing, she was making money off of this stuff. But I always felt like at some point she wasn't going to do it anymore. And I think that this man conveniently comes in and she's like, oh yeah, now I'm found God or whatever, and I'm not going to do this anymore. Like you said, after she made millions, she always came off a little, kooky. Her energy to me, even if it's, her cards, her energy always came off. Sometimes we just got to pay attention to energy with people.
Yeah, I like her cards. There's nothing demonic at all about her. There's nothing even remotely scary about her cards.
Yeah, nothing scary about her cards at all. I'm like, which
She's
cards
always
were demonic?
been very floofy, very
safe.
Well, I think the concept is
that would be like putting Radley Valentine in a Stephen King movie. It's not going to happen. He's too happy and cheerful, and he's a little,
I think the whole concept is that tarot opens up a portal. Not necessarily that tarot cards are demonic. It's what happens, like if you use a pendulum, if you use a spirit board, if you use tarot cards.
It's a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool.
But they're definitely looking at what it brings.
Right.
Okay, y'all, we're on like an hour and 40 something minutes.
Okay, let me check and see. Did we have? Oh, we do have 3 questions. Okay.
All right.
So let's do our 3 questions, and then we'll come back next week. It's been a while since I've even been in the coven, but maybe we can talk about some of that stuff. Yeah, 2 weeks. Okay. Oh, Lydia, we're only doing 1 card. Each person is going to draw 1 card. So it's not going to be a full-blown thing, okay, Lydia? Lydia asked, what does the remainder of 2024 have in store for me? Lydia, I like the Mercedes man.
You know what? Oh, yeah, that was a good one, Mr. Mercedes.
Mr. Mercedes.
I like The Outsider. The Outsider was great. Great.
Mika says she's leaving spirituality and becoming a pastor because the money is good, girl.
It is. You can be the next Creflo Dollar.
You can be Victoria Olstein or Tammy Faye Baker.
Joe. Oh, man. The first lady of the church.
Okay.
You know what, Nika? I don't know if you could be a pastor's wife. You're right. You'd have to be the pastor. But even then, people will come and they want to talk to you about their problems. And you wouldn't have patience for it. You'd be like, God said no. Keep it moving.
Okay, Tanya, you got yours for Lydia?
I got new love and also to watch your back with untrustworthy friends.
What do you got, Shishi?
I got letting go of guilt and shame, because you continue to carry something around from the past with you, and that's blocking um, some of the things that you're trying to bring into your life. And that you need to, with that information, be very careful about who you get guidance from, because it's causing you to have self-doubt and lose self-confidence.
That's
I
deep.
got love as well, but also with love, you have to remember that you have choices. So there's always a choice to be made. It feels like a soulmate connection, but I also feel like there may be a third party somewhere too. So make sure you take your time, let things unfold naturally, get to know the person. Don't just jump in. Don't, you're really nice. You don't always have to just, you know what I'm saying? You don't always have to be so open. I know, you know what I'm saying? Lydia is so nice and I just love her to death. But get to know somebody first before you open up 100% and give your all to them. Okay, and let me see who was next. Sharita. And Sharita just wants a message from my spirits. Message for Sharita. That's for Sharita Shannon. Sharita Shannon. Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead, Shishi.
So I'm getting from the guides that you need to make a choice. Like, you're walking on the fence when it comes to you're opening yourself up to spirit and learning something that's going to help move you forward in this life. They're saying choose a battle. It's time to either, shit or get off the pot. You're supposed to be a student in something. You're supposed to be opening up spiritually in something, but you have fear holding you back, and it's something that you need to let go of. That's what I have.
Okay,
I got
so
choice. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say I got choices as well. I feel like you may get stuck being focused on one thing and forget that there's other options there for you. Don't dwell on this thing. Stay open, like what Shishi was saying.
Okay, so I kind of got something too about going back to school or doing something with education that looks like it does open something up for you financially, because I see feels like moving on from something that's overwhelming, but I kind of get some of the same energy. Spirit is saying that your priorities are not set. You're overwhelmed because your mind is all over the place. Like I think Lynna was saying, you're trying to do a lot of different things, or there's a lot of different things coming at you, and spirit is like, really focus and get your priorities set. It's almost like scattered energy, so it's options. I definitely see options, but it's like, don't pick something out of fear. It's kind of what I'm getting, like, get your priorities together.
Yeah, don't get stuck in the sadness or the misery of something, because you do have support. Don't ignore the support and stay focused on just the sadness part. Or I know what I'm trying to say. Do y'all know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I think as long as she knows what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have Vladimir. And Vladimir says, what do you see ahead with the career front? So Vladimir wants to know about your career.
Who's going first?
You can go first. I'm still gathering.
Okay, so I don't know if you started a new job, but I feel like that there's a job that's coming in that pays good money. But I feel like Spirit is showing, you're showing as a King of Swords with King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles has the ability to make money, is what I feel. But I also feel like that there's something with your ambition that you need to really focus. Like trying to, there's money coming in, but Spirit is saying really, really focus on what this career is to you, like what direction you're trying to go, because there's something with growth that's there. But I feel like that there's some obstacles that I think with the King of Sword energy, you're going to cut through the obstacles and the money is on the other side. But King of Sword is battling something, opposition, possibly competition, possibly not being focused. King of Swords energy is typically a person that's very independent. Sometimes they don't like working with a lot of people. They don't like sharing a lot of their space with people, and they're very direct when they talk to people. And I feel like there's something that comes in where Spirit is like really focused on what is for you and cut the bullshit out. Cut away any other negativities, any other things that are coming in, because the money is straightforward for you. I hope that makes sense. The focus is an issue lately. Yeah, but it is showing you're King of Swords, which means that you have a sword to cut the distractions away, and you're not using it. You see the money, you want the money, but you're allowing other distractions to come in, and that's going to slow you down. Competition, cut it away. The doubts, cut it away. Those things, because on the other side is big money for you. Big money for you.
I get something along the same lines as Tanya, except I get that you try to do too much at the same time, which is why you get easily distracted. There's also the situation of, you not really focusing on that which you really want to do, and because you're doing so many things at the same time, you often find yourself comparing your journey to others, people that maybe you're doing similar things to, because you're doing so many things, um, and where their journey may be further along or they have more success, you feel like you're not getting enough success, and that's because you're stretching yourself too thin. The other part about it is that even when you get a regular 9 to 5 job, let's say you do have something that's really stable, you tend to take jobs that are energetically overwhelming with very little reward. You're not one that really likes confrontation or boundaries. So there's a lot of the times where people walk over you and you end up carrying more of a load than what you should. So you're going to have to learn your boundaries. You're also going to have to decide what you want to focus on instead of stretching yourself all across the board and not being able to, really fulfill one goal at a time. So that is what I have for you.
I got the 9 of Cups, which same thing. either a new job coming in, a new promotion, a lot of money, there's a celebration. But what I'm really picking up from this is the guy is happy and he's got all these golden cups around him. So make sure that when this money starts coming in, you put some of it aside. You have your little savings account going on. Budget your money. Yeah, there are going to be luxury items and things that you want. Don't go out. I mean, yeah, you can celebrate. Don't go out and just blow it all. Make sure you budget. Make sure you save. You're going to have enough. But if you spend it carelessly, you won't. So just be careful with it. The money's there. Just be careful how you spend it. And then I think that's all that we have for this week as far as readings. Those who are asking in the chat, there's a little yellow ticker going across the bottom of the screen. It's also written in the description. Please don't come in here spamming and asking a bunch of questions. So I'm not trying to be ugly. In fact, I encourage my friend Tonya on Friday nights to use this system because people blow up her chat, and then we're over here reading, and we're trying to speak to Vladimir and give him his reading, and we got people wanting to know if their twin girls are going to have babies. Well, that has nothing to do with Vladimir. Vladimir's not pregnant with twins. So please, third grade education is all you need. Just read the description, read the ticker.
So Nika was saying that's a good idea. So here's the thing. Fridays, I try, I read really fast. I typically go from person to person to person to person. And I'm not going to say that the system wouldn't work for me. I honestly don't see questions that I'm not supposed to see when I read. I'm drawn to particular questions, and so that's why I don't think it bothers me, because I don't see. If spirit don't let me see it, I don't see it. I go to where I'm supposed to go. But
that's why she never answers my little heart comment.
I really
did. I didn't even know you were there.
I didn't.
Yeah, I'll pop in. Whew. Like, hi,
okay.
Tonya.
So Nika, I made a couple things. Well, I made that bag last week, but I made this one. I have to attach it to the canvas. But it's a tote bag made out of granny squares, but it's going to be put on the canvas bag so it has a liner in it. And then I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to put this big sunflower here in the middle. And I have these tiny ones that I'm going to put like around the outside. And I have different colors. And then I have a dark green I've not done yet. And then I'm going to make 4, one of each of the big squares. So the back side will just be 4 of the big squares and not all the tiny squares. Because there'll be 12 tiny ones. Let me see.
That's very cute.
So sunflower in the middle, 12 tiny ones, mixed fall colors. And then on the back will be the 4 big ones in the same fall colors.
Nice.
So that's what I'm working on now, I think. But honestly, yesterday when I was sitting here, I was kind of bored. And I was kind of wanting to do something different, but I don't know what I want to do. I mean, I know I don't know what I want to make.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, a pleated skirt? That'll be cute.
I tried to do a granny square fanny pack. It didn't work out. I'll just try again.
Oh, that was on the creative crochet thing. Yeah, I saw that one, but I never tried to make it. I just learned how to make granny squares. And then, if you look real close, I made these wrong because I forgot to flip them.
It sounds like we would know.
But they look fine to me. I saw that there's a bunch of like, what's his name? Jack from, what's the one?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Him and his bride. And there's all kinds of stuff. But I made the gnomes. And I've made
Those gnomes are really cute.
axolotls. I've made mushrooms. I've made sea turtles. I think I
Those
made
gnomes
something
are
else.
so cute.
Yeah, there's Tanya's gnome.
So cute.
But I don't know. I think I need to make something different though. But I did order. I subscribed, and I know I'm supposed to be budgeting, Tanya. Shh. They got this monthly subscription box from Hooks and Needles. So I got the knitting box because I've been doing a lot of crocheting, but I want to make sure that I get some patterns for knit. Girl, I'm going to use the patterns to make stuff for my store. So just, it's an investment.
I'm not saying anything because I have all this yarn downstairs that I'm supposed to learn how to knit or crochet and have yet to open up. So my sister got mad at me. So I have to work on it. I'm just going to make Christmas presents with mine. I'm not selling anything. It's just going to be
Girl,
people's
if you're
Christmas
making
presents.
Christmas, you should have started 2 months ago. That blanket, well,
No.
I finally delivered that blanket to the lady who asked me to make it for her. That thing took me 4 months to make that blanket. It was cute though.
It was real cute.
It was really cute.
Well, I don't think I'll be making anything extravagant.
Lydia, I did make an octopus. Remember that octopus at the fete that you got for Joy's daughter? I made that. The octo mom with the little babies.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about her. So, but okay. Tanya's over there. She's like, and that
Oh
means
no,
that we need.
I was swatting a fly, but yeah, I got stuff to do.
She's got gumbo to make. We haven't had it in a while.
No, we ain't making no gumbo, but I definitely got some. I do need to go to the store and get some groceries.
All right. Well, we will see you guys in 2 weeks, maybe next week if I decide to. So I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm so tired. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
2 weeks.
So
I gotta work next Sunday. 2 weeks.
Yeah. So if I'm not on doing crochet next Sunday, I'm probably sleeping. Old people like naps.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you do
that.
the talking crochet.
Yeah, but
I like that.
I get up so early. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's a long day.
Yeah. But we love you guys, and we'll see you 2 weeks. Dose. Not Dos Equis. Just dose.
Cheers.
Oh my God.